after hearing the height of optimism from Anand about active management of a non-exudative subclinical CNVM with just having a drusen. So now these are drusenoid PEDs you have picked up because you have got a swab source OCTA you want to treat. So now we are looking what is treatment naive quiescent CNVM. These are just CNVs picked up on ICG angiography and dry macula only drusen and for dry macula for at least 6 months. So these are the eyes which we are, you want to put on treat and extend or so. So OCT angios have found that 80% sensitivity and 100% specificity compared to picking up these subclinical CNVMs with SD-OCTA. And this is a typical scenario. The other eye has got an exudative AMD, and here you have just flat irregular PEDs here. So, and your OCT angio has picked up a small neovascularization which has grown over the 1 year to a little more larger size subclinical CNVM. So I want to discuss only 2 important natural history studies. The first from Europe by Dr. Francisco Bandolo and group. They looked at 1,000 neovascular AMD eyes and found that the naive CNVMs are seen only in 1.6% eyes. And the rate of conversion to exudation is only 7%, roughly around 7% a year. Now let us look at a US group from Phil Rosenfeld and group. They looked at the high-risk eyes, the fellow eyes of exudative AMD, and these high-risk eyes with the Plexelite swab source OCTA machine picked up 15% of them to have a quiescent CNVM, and they also found that the risk of activation in 1 year is only 7%. So 93% of the patients remained as drusenoid PEDs. And when we look at this natural history, it's only 1.5 to 15% of these eyes with, have these quiescent CNVMs picked up with OCT angiography, and the rate of conversion is 7% per year and between 15 to 20% after 2 years. So after 2 years, you start treatment or you start treatment now. So you have, once you detect this macular neovascularization, there is a 15 times risk of developing the subretinal fluid. And that is why these patients require very frequent follow-ups once you pick up this macular neovascularization and they have this drusenoid kind of PED, kind of RP elevation. So as you see, after 2 years of follow-up, the size of the subclinical CNVM increased and the subretinal fluid has appeared. So, and already we mentioned that swab source OCTA is a higher sensitivity and specificity in picking up these subclinical CNVMs. So let us look at a typical patient who has a wet AMD and exudative AMD in one eye. The other eye is having only these drusenoid PEDs and there is no activity and 6/9 vision. And the OCTA has picked up a small neovascularization corresponding to the drusenoid PED on the structural OCT. And this patient, the ONFAS corresponds to the area of this subclinical small neovascularization. And when we look at the video angiography of this, when you see this video angiography, it is here that you pick up this subtle neovascularization at this level, which corresponds to this drusenoid PED. And this patient was observed over the next 1.5 years and 3 monthly checkup and home Amsler's monitoring. And till date, this lesion remains the same and the PED remains the same. Now, management of drusenoid PEDs or fibrovascular PEDs has shown that the visual acuity response has nothing to do with the PED resolution, which is very less in anti-VEGF therapy in most of the trials. And the visual acuity is mainly on intraretinal and subretinal fluid resolution. And when you look at only the PED resolution with anti-VEGF therapy, it's only 19% of these PEDs that in neovascular AMD that responds to anti-VEGF therapy. So if you are starting a treatment, what is the efficacy of disappearance of these lesions? And we know that the lower shallower PED, RAP PEDs and PCV PEDs have better response. And even the aflibercept is shown to have a better response compared to the anti-VEGF. So now if we need evidence to start such treatment of subclinical AMD, subclinical neovascularization, the trial that is undergoing is a PREVENT study for prophylactic role of ranibizumab against exudative age-related macular degeneration. Unless we have the result of this study, whether it's a randomized trial, whether it is preventing the onset of exudation, is what we want to know. So what we have currently is that these subclinical CNVMs on OCTA are biologically active and growing, and they could be a precursor to exudative disease. But prophylactic treatment is questionable as per the evidence that we have, because these CNVMs have shown to have a protective nourishing role in RP nourishment, preventing the geographic atrophy. Anti-VEGF therapy is not recommended even if the subclinical lesion is seen to grow on OCT angiography, because, quote unquote, Dr. Phil Rosenfeld in that article, if you start the treatment based on this subclinical seen on OCTA, the endpoint of your treatment would be the precipitation of geographic atrophy, because it is at that time point that neovascularization completely disappears. So the take-home message from what I have to say is OCTA, especially the better machines, have helped us to pick up this early detection, but the quiescent CNVMs are biologically active growing, but close follow-up and in the clinic and home Amsler's monitoring, no requirement for treatment in the absence of exudation, so which may be deleterious to the patient.